think I'll ask anything too off the wall.
Yeah, we'll be fine. It's okay.
All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
Welcome to the Explosive Strength Podcast with Jerry Pitney. On today's episode, I have Danielle and Chanelle here with me. These are Joe's two sisters. They were, who was it? I don't know if it was either Danielle or Chanelle was one of the first females in the country to jump on a 49-inch box. So what we're going to do is talk to them about their experiences with the gym, kind of how I was back in the day. They also helped me grow up as a gym owner, learning how to kind of be a little more mean. So they ended up leaving the gym, going and played volleyball for Elon, and now they're off into their career life. So I'd like to talk to them about that and kind of see things how they see it. So anyway, here we go with Danielle and Chanelle.
Hello.
Hi. Ladies.
Hey.
Do y'all remember, what grade were y'all? Were y'all 10th grade when y'all came to the gym?
No, we're actually in 8th grade.
Yeah, we started
8th grade?
Yeah, and then it was the end of our 8th grade year because
Yeah.
we used to cheerlead across from
So
the
Joe
gym.
was, what Joe, okay.
Joe was going into 8th grade and we were going into 9th grade. We started like the end of the school year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I ask people and I don't have a freaking clue.
No.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the car. We were like, how old were we? 13 or 14? We were 14 when we started with
What
you.
y'all came, because I'll talk to Allie. Y'all came first, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How did y'all hear about the gym? Your mother said, hey, y'all need to go work out, y'all too weak.
Essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways.
So we used to cheer at, what was the gym called? The Peachtree City Cheerleading Gym. It was right across the street.
It was,
And
it was before it was Ace.
Yeah, it was before it was
before
Ace. It was right across from there. And then we were leaving, and my mom was like, we need to work out and get in the gym. And then we saw you, and then she kind of forced us. We didn't go willingly by any means.
Yeah.
I love parents like that. You know, I think I told Joe or somebody, you know, parents are like, do they like it? Heck, y'all don't have a choice.
Yeah, no, there was not.
Essentially, we didn't really have a choice.
At all, at all.
Have y'all both cried in the gym?
Oh,
Oh.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
What was it like? Do you remember your first lifts? Y'all got to be, do y'all know who was the strongest twin?
I think she was stronger on bench,
yeah,
and I was
bench.
stronger on squat.
Squat, yeah.
Who at the beginning or at the end? One of you were strong, and I don't know because I don't. We didn't even get to where we had folders. We just had
No.
notebooks.
No, we didn't.
didn't have
Yeah, we
folders.
just had our own like notebooks that had to write it down.
One of you, and I tell people this is, because I hate it when people think genetics, because like we was talking to Joe, and I was talking to Ben Baggett, some other people, and like Colton, they were not genetically gifted at that stuff. Ben said, Jared, I was built. I didn't come out doing this.
Yeah.
And I use you two as an example, although people now, you wouldn't recognize anybody in the gym. It's been so long, but
yeah.
one of you were stronger than the other one on bench by 10 pounds when you first started.
Yeah.
So one of you, I think, had like a 65-pound bench, and one of you had like a 75-pound bench.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried forever to get
Sounds
y'all
so
to get to 95. And what was your highest, Danielle?
165.
Mine was 140.
140.
Yeah.
So you may have been naturally stronger than her.
In the beginning.
In the
probably.
beginning,
In the beginning,
Yeah.
but then you worked and you passed her.
Yeah, you passed her. Yeah.
Mhm.
But born naturally, you were a little weaker.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so that's what I tell people. If you work hard enough and you get the focus, you can pass someone that was ahead of you.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I don't really like this genetic type thing. You know, you are sometimes genetically gifted with a body.
Yeah.
If you're like 6'3", 6'4", what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely.
You know, but you got to have parents like y'all to push you to be that. You know, we'd be in the gym. Heck, I'll get y'all confused because I don't remember back in the day. Who was it? Which one of you I made stand in front of a box, and I would put little bitty rubber mats on those half-inch rubber mats,
Yeah.
and y'all were sitting there crying because you couldn't do it. But then we'd sit there for an hour.
I think it was Chanel. Yeah.
We'd sit there for an hour after we were
Yes.
done, so you'd be there for the first hour. It would say another hour trying to break the record.
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
I think it was me because I have a scar in the front of my shin where I missed it.
when it was the white metal
When it was the white metal
boxes
boxes.
at the first gym.
It was definitely me, and I'm a crier. So
Did y'all get to where there's a YouTube video, and I saw, I was like, man, I've never really done a lot of YouTube, to where y'all were jumping on and over the.
I literally just watched those
the metal boxes.
2 days ago. It was the one where I was jumping on the 49-inch box, and it was the one where I was sitting down and I jumped. I think it was 5 boxes in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, repeatedly.
Okay. So you're the one that jumped on the 49-inch box.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a standing. That's not a running. You see some of these people doing a running jump.
No, yeah, I was just
And
standing
that was just straight up. So do y'all have that video?
It's on YouTube still, and it's like 100,000 views on that, probably more than that.
So
Yeah, it's crazy.
I need to try to pull that and repost it.
It's still linked on your Explosive Mechanics
Yeah,
page,
I
like
think
at the
so.
bottom.
I
Yeah.
got to figure out. Like I don't know all. Like I was talking to y'all about. Well, hey, you got the Zoom thing over here.
I can show you how to pull it
So
from
if
YouTube.
I could pull it, I could repost it to Instagram.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
yeah.
that'd be pretty cool. Because a lot of females can't jump.
Oh yeah, we being in college, yeah, we definitely noticed that.
And so yeah, I was talking to Landon earlier. It's like let's kind of go to high school, then we'll kind of come back.
Okay.
Let's go to college since we're on that. Then we'll
Okay.
come to high school, then we'll talk about the recruiting process and how
Yeah.
all that kind of crap goes out. Were y'all surprised when you got to college how weak everybody was?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
I was really surprised.
Yeah, I thought everyone lifted as hard as we did, and it was the exact opposite. A lot of people didn't know what they were doing when it came to front squat or just anything. And then when you go into college, they don't actually teach you the basics and the technique of doing the Olympic lift, so you don't get injured. It's kind of just throw you in there and just like, okay, everyone learned this. But people are really surprised. Like, we actually had to critique a lot of girls on their lifts.
Yeah, I
and all
remember
stuff like
you
that.
or one of y'all or your mother called me. Y'all actually ended up trying to help a strength coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even now, after being at Southern Miss as a GA, we're kind of understaffed there, and so I used to help the strength coach. And they actually asked me, they're like, "Have you been in have you took any training of being a strength coach?" I'm like, "No." I was like, my coach from high school just taught me the technique and all that stuff like that. And they asked me that I should go into the field of being a strength coach because I knew
that's
the
pretty
technique.
good.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I was like, "No, I'm not really into science, so I'm gonna stay away from that."
Do y'all remember Nicole Gagne?
The one that played at MIT?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
They did the same thing to her. She started.
Oh, really?
She started trying to help their strength and conditioning program because everything was so bad. And
Yeah.
I really remember y'all trying to help them too.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely. I think that's hate to say. I think that's why we had so many injuries because a lot of the players weren't taught the basics of like the techniques so you prevent injuries and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So
Now, which one of you tore your ACL?
I did.
She did.
Yeah.
Are you the injury prone one?
No, I think I tore my ACL because in volleyball we wear ankle braces.
Mhm.
So back in the day, it was most coaches. It was mandatory to wear ankle braces. So then it made your ankles weak, and then when you couldn't move your ankle, it kind of went to your knee.
Mhm.
But nowadays in college, a lot of coaches don't actually recommend wearing ankle braces
Oh,
because
really?
of that to prevent those knee injuries. Because when your ankles are restricted, the first thing to go is your knee. So
So y'all were a lot stronger than all the other. So like,
Yeah.
what you take you to, they're so much stronger than all the other girls. It's really hard for the strength coach to deal with because he don't even know what to do with you.
no, that's honestly, yeah, that kind of was. They kind of always put
Put
us
us together. We usually lift it together on like
Yeah.
Y'all go do your own thing. I gotta take care of this little
Yeah,
weak
it
thing.
really was. And then we stayed because it wasn't mandatory to stay in the summer.
Yeah.
But we would always stay because we loved working out. That's why we never came here to train because we were always back at school. And so the coaches, they were always just so impressed because they could kind of do whatever lifts they wanted to do. They could push us and we wouldn't cave or anything like that or complain and stuff.
So all those years of lifting in high school made your college lifting career a lot easier.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
transition was easy
Well,
for us.
well,
I would
lifting
say.
and the conditioning part of it. I mean, the prowler was hell. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I still get nightmares every time I see
Oh
the
my
prowler.
god, literally, yes, I say that all the time.
And that just helped us from the conditioning
Flashbacks.
standpoint as well when we had to.
And y'all don't have that. Do y'all have prowlers or anything at school?
We have them, but we don't really. Our
Use
girls don't
them.
do conditioning at Portland State really that often, so it's not. And you can kind of tell when we get to practice and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And y'all are well built too. But were y'all ever nervous in high school about looking manly or being too muscular?
Not really. No, I mean, I never noticed it.
I have to disagree. I felt like I always had like manly arms, and like so I was.
Hey, man, these things are not. Hey, look, I don't know what's bigger, your shoelace or your arm?
I know.
I don't think.
I felt like we always had pretty like defined. I wouldn't say man, we just had very defined arms.
That's because y'all had high energy, high work ethic.
Yeah, we always got compliments on our arms.
Yeah.
For the most part, but then like it would honestly when we would go out and
People would literally ask
us
us,
how
like,
much we
do
bench
bench.
press because like they could tell we were athletes. Like you guys look like you're in the gym pretty often. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to look like I'm scrawny.
Yeah, you're athletically built.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
You're not walking around like big
Yeah,
body.
it wasn't. Yeah, nothing like we're
Because
swole.
y'all
just
seen some
we're-
other girls that have lifted weights for years
Yeah.
and be too big.
Yeah. So we were definitely just toned, just really.
We just looked
cut.
athletic, yeah.
And y'all didn't weigh very much. What, 135? What was your body weight?
Pretty much still the same.
Still the same. Yeah, we still weigh the same.
About around 140.
But I think we were really small. I think we were probably like 110 when we started coming to you. But then you had us do protein shakes and all this stuff, and then we ended up putting on
like health, and it was like
yeah.
healthy weight. It wasn't
Healthy
just
weight.
like weight. It was like healthy.
Yeah,
weight.
because y'all are not fat. I don't think y'all ever been fat.
No, we've
No.
only been this weight since we left college. After college, still to this day. And we're trying to
It
gain.
must be nice.
Everyone says that.
And,
I'm trying to gain. It's just not happening. For
Yeah,
me.
it's not
That's
happening.
so you need to eat pizza, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You gain some weight. At least I will anyway. What was y'all's first memories of the first gym?
So I remember it was kind of like 2 floors. Not really. It was like one.
Yeah,
just
we
long.
had some stairs to get
Yeah,
up
the
top.
stairs to get up, and then we used to do the prowler
Up there.
for like
I
the
made y'all
first.
push the prowler down the back, run up and down the steps.
And then you moved it to outside, which I despise you for that.
I think the memory I remember is when me, you, and Joe had to do the prowler together, and I swear we were like, at the end, I was like, I quit, James.
Yes, it was like a relay. It was
a
like
relay.
you had to go back and the other person back.
We did it. I know we did it like 18 times.
Yeah,
Like, it was
it
literally
was-
awful.
Y'all did it a lot too.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
I think you got your mom to thank for that because I think she encourages more.
Yeah,
more
she was
than I did.
standing out there like
Yeah, it
taking
was
photos
just-
and like filming, and we're just like, no,
This is
it was
hell.
awful.
It was it was rough.
It was rough.
Yeah, and Joe said it was so hot. It was hard to push, but you couldn't lay down because the ground was too
Yeah,
hot.
exactly.
exactly.
And then you didn't have AC in the gym.
Yeah.
so
I
it's
still
just
have
like,
AC. I actually got a thermometer in here. It gets to be a 95 to 102
Yeah.
in here in the summertime. But I do have
Yeah.
the doors that I could open up, so it's not like
Yeah.
they're
It
trapped
was.
in here. We get some type of breeze, but it is still hot.
it was rough.
The first 2 gyms, we didn't even have. Geez, I remember the second gym. The nightmare of the second gym was we had to freaking sleep over. Y'all remember that?
Oh,
my
I vaguely
God,
remember
yes.
that. Wow,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
some kids, Jerry, you can have a locking. I said, hell no.
Oh man,
That
I
was
forgot
miserable.
about that. That was wild.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And we had to have that little blow heater thing. That's
Yeah,
when we had
to-
those first 2 gyms. We had
Yeah.
a torch blower.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh gosh. That was
Um,
wow.
so,
TBT.
Yeah, so y'all got in high school, started working out. Y'all never had the fear of getting big, and you didn't get big,
Mm-mm.
so you don't have to really worry about that.
Yeah.
Y'all have a problem that a lot of females have. Do y'all both have scoliosis, or somebody who's
Oh,
who was
me.
real?
Yeah,
we both had scoliosis, but hers was more severe than
Yeah,
mine.
I had it. I
Again, the
back
problem
legs.
child.
Yeah,
I know.
It surely
If
is.
we'll probably dig all these things out.
I know. It was rough.
But it was really
man.
bad because your spine looked almost like the wrist.
Yeah, it was
stuck.
almost like
And so
yeah.
when we first started squatting, you didn't like it.
No, I did not. And we had to. It took us a while for me to
Yeah.
squat because I would shift my weight
Yeah.
to one side in the bar. It was a lot. It was
Yeah,
definitely
but
out of my comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah, but we took care of it. Have you ever had any issues of it?
No, I haven't. I haven't had any issues with my back or my knee, which is very unheard of for a lot of people that have torn their ACL. They usually are dealing with swelling and all stuff like that. I was good to go.
I think a lot of it, a lot of females don't train though. A lot
No,
of females
yeah.
have ACL injuries.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I tell people this: you tore your ACL, I think, in May,
Yeah.
and I think you still played your senior season.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, she came back closer to like the end.
We were in
pretty
state,
much.
yeah.
She played state.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that was in
Y'all
October.
didn't win state championship.
No, we
did you?
lost,
we lost that
in
year.
the
Y'all won 2
championship.
years in a row though, didn't you? How many?
2 years.
2
Yeah.
years, yeah. We went every year, then won 2 years.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think the only reason, because the stronger you are, the quicker you come back from an injury.
No, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And so I remember when your mom called me, she told me that you jump and your leg would collapse,
Mm-hmm.
and think toward you something, went and got a MRI to confirm it was a torn ACL. And I said, well, they need to get in the gym.
Yeah.
This was the second
Still
gym.
worked out.
I tried to overtrain your legs.
Yeah.
Because you could still squat.
Mm-hmm.
So we still squatted, we still worked your legs. I was trying to get you to still train so that when you did go get cut on, that you'd be able to recover from it.
Yeah.
But I think those years prior to the strength training, really, we had a good base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
for
then once we got hurt, we just kind of pushed a little harder than we normally
Yeah.
did. And then I think that helped aid your recovery a lot.
No, it really did, because a lot of people still don't believe me when I say that I was back jumping in
Like 4
October.
months. Yeah, you came back
it was
earlier, like
people
4
were like,
months.
what?
It's
Like, and I was
crazy.
like, yeah, I was back, still couldn't move, because I had tryouts the day following states, and I was jumping and playing 100%. So.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when you do have people, like I had someone fly over here from Germany to help me, for me to help them with their ACL, something get back to
Oh wow.
softball, and she's never really lifted. So how long has it been since you've had surgery? I think it was like 8 months. I said, okay, let's go.
Geez.
And so, man, it was rough.
Yeah.
Because if you take someone that's been injured, number one, they're scared,
Mm-hmm.
and number two, they don't have the physical fitness level,
Yep.
and they don't have the experience of lifting.
Mm-hmm.
So you got those three things against you trying to help someone that don't really even know how to push.
Yep.
Because y'all have already learned how to push by the
Yeah.
time you got hurt.
Yep. For sure.
Yep.
So I think that really helped aid the recovery. So like, how do you do that? Well, I was in shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were strong, and you had a good, like, if the more in shape you are, the more physically developed you are, the quicker you recover.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so you're a good testament to that and how that happened.
Yeah.
And so pushing those years through the boxes. When did we get those foam boxes? Was that was just still the first play?
No,
it was the second one.
It was the second one.
No, it was the first one because the 49-inch jump was on the blue boxes.
Against that wall.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Okay.
with Jonathan Robert? Who was the people that y'all used to come with? Who was
Brandy.
the crew?
Brandy. I don't even know. I know Brandy was one of the main ones. Was it Mike?
Mike Hilton used to come.
Yeah.
No, was it another Mike? He was like a heavier white dude.
Mike
Hinderman? Is it you talking about? From East Coweta?
East Coweta, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Is the same Mike?
It is Mike. Mitch.
That's
Mitch,
your
Mitch.
name.
Mitch.
Mitch.
It was like we were like the core group that would like come.
We would always train together around the same time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It was always like the group of us.
So then we didn't have, when y'all first started, we just had a little whiteboard we wrote stuff on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was a
chalkboard actually.
Chalkboard.
It's a chalkboard.
It was a chalkboard.
Man. Yeah, y'all are really the base of how everything got started, because Simone used to come with y'all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Simone Reed. Yeah.
'Cause she drove a long way.
She came from Marietta.
Yeah.
It was like an
Almost
hour,
an hour,
15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, each an hour and 15 here, an hour and 15 back.
Yeah.
I forgot she came.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all still talk to her?
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while, we
Yeah.
check in with each other.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank God for social media.
Definitely
For
helps a lot.
The so y'all kind of helped with I started giving y'all notebooks
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't
Yeah.
keep track with it.
Yeah, it was like our own,
Like
each
our
of us
actual
actual
notebook,
notebook, and we
yeah.
had to
Yeah.
really fill it out ourselves.
Yeah, because I started. I think I was talking to Wesley or somebody. And I used to fill them out. Then people wouldn't show up on the day they wanted to.
Yeah, so then it got all messed
So,
up.
man, screw that. Yeah, I spent 3-4 hours writing a notebook. Then y'all would come in because we benched today. Then no, we didn't do legs. And eventually we got to where no, if you don't show up, because y'all came all the time.
Yeah.
Y'all came the first year. You came 4 days a week, every week.
Yeah.
You never missed.
Mhm.
You never missed. You never missed at all, even when season going on.
Yeah, we never. No, our parents were like, no.
Yeah, and a lot
Get up
of
and
kids
go.
will take the season off. So what you'll see is you'll see them get really strong before season. They come out, and so they're kind of falling down.
Mhm.
They're always kind
They're
of,
always trying to play catch up.
and then it takes 2 months to get you back to where you were.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're spending 2 months of catching back up to where
Yep.
you were. Then if they have another season starting, or volleyball's year round,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so you just got to be dedicated. Now, did that help with school once you
I
got
was
to
just
college?
about to say that.
I think mentally it helped because in college you have no days off essentially. So it's like whether you get finished with a game, it's like the next day you have practice or you're lifting or conditioning. So I think mentally it just prepared us that you're going to get tired mentally and physically and emotionally. You have to find a way to push it. You can't take a day off just because you're tired.
Yeah,
Or if
'cause
it's a holiday. It's
Yeah.
like, we spent several birthdays. I
When-
think 4 birthdays.
when y'all started, I had more
Yeah.
female athletes than male athletes. You know how many volleyball players I have now?
I don't know.
2?
Wow.
Yeah.
Aw.
I feel like you had like majority
I
of
know,
our
there's
team.
so many volleyball
Yeah, I
players.
had a lot of Sandy Creek girls.
Yeah, softball.
I had a lot of softball girls from East Coweta, Brandy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I had a lot of McIntosh girls.
Yeah.
Y'all and were y'all in the same division? Because it was either y'all winning state championship or McIntosh winning.
Yeah, then it was
state
Whitewater came at the last year. Our last year, Whitewater came in.
Because Helen came for a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
she came.
Yeah, so we had eventually at one point had all the girls always battling for a state championship.
Yeah, it was seriously.
Always came here.
It was.
I worked with Trinity's volleyball team for 2 years in a row, they ended up winning back-to-back state championships.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Trinity?
That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
So
Okay.
I know
Yeah.
Coach Collins brought y'all here for a while,
Mhm.
and so then I guess once the word got out there, then a lot of the McIntosh girls came. I can't even remember some of their names.
That's probably, was it the twins?
No, it was before the twins.
Was it Jill? Because Jill. Oh, well, one was Jill. Because she played volleyball at McIntosh.
I don't even know.
She's the only one I can remember from
Yeah.
McIntosh.
One girl had a brother that came with her.
I don't know.
Anyway, I can't remember. Emma, what was her name? Popsadero?
Oh.
She was Sandy Creek girl.
Gemma.
Gemma. Gemma. Yeah, you said never. Gemma. Yeah,
Gemma
Gemma.
Pops.
Pops, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but she was Sandy Creek girl.
Yeah, she was Sandy Creek.
Yeah, so most of them were Sandy Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that Sandy Creek won back-to-back, and Trinity won back-to-back, and you had McIntosh. Did they ever win state championship?
I think they did win the year after we left.
Yeah.
Because we ended up going lower to 3A, and McIntosh and Whitewater were 4A.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of took them out of like us competing with them. But I think they did win one of those years, like right after we left.
Mm-hmm. Now, y'all ever keep track of Reagan and Raina?
Yeah. So because one of our good friends actually works as the director of ops for Virginia Tech volleyball. So she kind of knew. She was like, I was like, oh, we know the twins, Raina and Reagan, but they were both doing well. One of them redshirted.
Is
So
that
she
where they went to
graduated.
play volleyball?
Yeah,
Virginia
yeah.
Tech. Mhm.
They're
Okay.
both on full scholarships there. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even realize they went. I knew that
Mm-hmm.
there was a school that had some another set of twins that went to play at Georgia Tech.
Annika and
and
Tegan,
Tegan,
yeah.
What school did they go to?
Georgia
Georgia
Tech.
Tech.
They went to Whitewater.
Oh, Whitewater.
Yeah, so it was
that,
always-
that was when the power started coming in.
Yeah, because you literally had sets of twins from like every school.
They all went to Division One.
All
so
went
it's
to
just
one,
like,
yeah.
Because it's crazy. 'Cause people all know, like when they hear Sandy Creek and like Fayette County, they're all like, "Oh man, like you guys breed athletes." I'm like, "Yep."
Yep. Still today.
Yeah.
I think they are going to have quite a few signed this year.
Mm-hmm.
Until they had to play Colton. Colton racked up. He had 4 sacks against Sandy Creek that game.
Oh, really?
First time Stars. I don't know if maybe the first time Stars Mill ever beat Sandy Creek.
Yeah, I think I know
Yeah,
when we
'cause they
played
were-
them, they never beat
Yeah, they
us.
were always like okay.
Yeah.
There were like a few because Zach Lasky was at Stars.
Oh, he
They had,
was
like, a few
there, yeah.
random.
Yes, last
And the
season.
other black guy that was at Stars that we lived with here.
I don't remember his name. I
I
don't know.
can't remember. I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank. Sorry.
I know. I see his face, but I can't remember his name. He went to Stars Mill though. Okay, forget it.
Yeah, so I have no clue. I can't even remember what the hell happened yesterday.
Same.
Start off lifting. Y'all did pretty good, I guess, because your brother. Another story I'll tell, and you may have heard it on your brother's podcast, is y'all hated to do some of the stuff that I made y'all do.
Yeah, I did everything you did. Until-
But like that's what like good parents like I was talking about. If someone don't show up to the gym, I'll call the parents.
Yeah.
You know, like I do that to Brandy.
Yeah.
All people that I have had a relationship with, to where I call the parents if they don't show up, they went to play college ball,
Mhm.
or they've had I never had to worry about last year or anything else like
Yeah.
that. But some kids you do, and if I say, hey, y'all were deadlifting, and your mom pulls up shit, y'all ran out the gym. Y'all were trying to get the hell out of there quick.
I was.
He jumped in the car and you're like, all right, let's go. I said, hey, Sharice, they didn't finish the deadlifts. And your mom cussed y'all out.
That sounds about right.
That's
And,
a regular thing.
This was the first
She
place.
still does.
And so your daddy would be back to get you. And y'all didn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
No, because like you would always be on us like all the time.
But if you come, like the other day, I had 33 people in here at 1 hour.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
And if y'all were here at that time, shoot, y'all be in the corner hiding somewhere.
I
Yeah.
seriously would be because it was like 4 or 5 of us when we were going.
Yeah, and so some days it's packed. Like the other day, I had 33 1 hour, then I had 27 the next hour,
Oh my goodness.
and then the next hour probably only had 18, and then the next hour probably only had 4.
That's crazy.
And
is
so
crazy.
and so sometimes it can be really busy, but everybody's got to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to listen and do what I say when I say it.
Mhm.
But I've got to the point to where now I've got a pretty good system to where like we'll all come in, we'll may get our main lift done. But then if y'all need something special to work on, I may send y'all over here. Y'all go over here,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody plays whatever. it's on the website. We play explicit music. I don't care what we play. We still play 3-6 Mafia.
Oh man,
and all that stuff back. We played the same stupid CD back over and over. That's because they didn't even have iPod. I guess.
no, yeah, we didn't know.
No.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing, and it's so funny because when we lived in like. I still remember certain songs that just from working out with you,
like
and
the
I'm
rock
walking,
screamo.
yeah, and I'm like,
music.
oh my goodness, I was like, I remember Jared. I always think of Jared every time I hear this song.
Yeah, you'd always had that, and then we got the iPod, and then all those songs got transferred to the iPod.
Yeah.
And we moved to the gym. Jared, where's that iPod? I don't have some old people. Where's that iPod? That thing's classic. And so, heck, I don't know, because we just only had that 1-3-6 Mafia, Most Unknown,
Yeah.
or whatever the title was. And that's the only thing I had.
Yeah, I mean, we
just played it over
Yeah,
and
over
over.
and over. Old faithful.
And yeah, we still cuss back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
It was all right though. So that's pretty funny. So y'all always had to do something even if you didn't want to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, always.
And so that was good. Then we went to the new gym, and after that, what was the recruiting process like for volleyball? Because y'all are pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are separated now for the first
time, yeah.
How old are y'all?
26.
26. I almost said 25. 26.
26.
You what?
26.
26.
Holy
I know.
what the freak?
It's caught him so off guard.
26. Okay, dang.
Yeah, it's been 12 years.
So I didn't realize. Dang, yeah, that's 26. Geez, I ain't gonna be able to talk the rest of the time. Geez, that didn't make me. I lost my damn thought process.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
That's why I don't have any hair. I'm just that old. So what was the? What was the recruiting process? Because y'all are twins.
Mm-hmm.
Now 26-year-old twins, separated for the first time in 26 years.
Yeah.
Getting a pair of twins for recruiting is pretty difficult. Right?
Yeah.
Y'all had a hard time with that, right?
I personally don't. I mean, my mom is probably the better person that can answer that question because she did a lot of the grunt work, but I don't think we necessarily had a difficult time because during the summer we were going to 3 and 4 volleyball camps all summer, like just to help us get recruited, and we were playing travel volleyball, so that kind of gave us a lot more exposure. And surprisingly, a lot of people like twins because like volleyball is a game of just chemistry, and so we already had natural chemistry on the court, and we were different positions, so we moved almost the exact same. And so it honestly wasn't as difficult as most people would think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also just back in the day, like volleyball wasn't popular among African Americans. So for us being females and African Americans playing a sport that's predominantly white, it kind of just appealed to a lot of coaches. And then the first thing how high we could jump is what attracted literally everyone to a court. Like people would see us and they would literally, how high do you jump? Like, oh my God, you guys jump so high. And then honestly, just like one, athleticism, and then just training, because we could jump. We always had a natural ability to jump, but we wouldn't have to be able to jump as high as we could have without your training. And I always tell people that, just being in a gym and having a coach that knows how to train volleyball players, I was like, it's huge.
Yeah.
What about your hitting? As y'all got stronger with your bench,
Oh yeah, we were.
Didn't y'all break y'all break a couple of noses?
Yeah, like we were weak, man. Like it's actually incredible to know how weak we were
when we first started.
Yeah. And then now it's just like, now even just watching our old videos from college, we're like, dang, like we could really hit the ball hard.
A lot of power behind
Yeah,
it.
exactly. We've hit a few girls in some faces and stuff like that.
And so the higher you jump, now the more you can come down on the
Yeah,
ball.
yeah.
And now you got a lot more power
And
to
then
come down on the
power,
ball. Yeah, so
exactly.
it makes it almost impossible to return.
Exactly.
Y'all were impressed with how weak the girls were when you got there. You know, like some kids would come to the gym here, and they are surprised at how strong other people are. You know, but once you get out of this element and you go there, are you surprised at how weak everybody else is?
Yeah. I was surprised. Yeah.
Colton was able to bench 405 for 2 as a high school junior, 450.
Wow.
And he couldn't figure out how come people can't bench 200.
Yeah, no.
But you know, like, so y'all couldn't bench. You're what, 65, 75 pounds starting bench max. Then y'all were both repping, I think, 135.
Yeah, I grew up, I think, 5
And that was like our body weight, or probably more than our body weight.
Yeah, because I was trying to get y'all to bench 1.25 times your body weight. That puts you top 1 percentile of even all lifters as far as power lifters go. So I was trying to get y'all much stronger than even an average athlete, and kind of succeeded with that. Because how many girls could bench 135 at Elon?
We were the only ones.
We were the only ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all are repping it.
Yeah, it's always so funny because like when we first got to Elon, even when we were like graduating from Elon, the coaches realized how strong we were, and so they would always have us like lift or do something in front of like the football team, and they were just like, "Look."
Yeah, y'all should be the example.
Yeah, they're like, "Look what they do."
Yeah, if someone leads her, they should be an example.
Yeah, exactly.
And y'all were. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Now that y'all were able to demonstrate, it's just, what do you think happened to your confidence? Were y'all pretty confident? I just remember y'all being weak, couldn't get you to bench 95 pounds to save my life. And we got there, then once we hit that point, then it started going up. I think y'all were able to bench 95 pounds 20 more times.
Yeah.
You know, trying to do those rep tests and things like that. So when y'all see somebody who can't bench 95, what do y'all think? Like, how come you can't bench that?
It's almost like, it's just sad because it's just crazy that a lot of girls like don't train before coming to college. And so it's just interesting that how they get recruited, not like being in the weight room. So, because I feel like the weight room had a huge impact on how we were recruited.
Yeah, because I think that helped Brandy, because Brandy took videos of her in here doing some power cleans and some stuff that colleges like to see, and I think that helped her with her recruiting process.
Yeah.
We never did that with y'all, did we?
No, I don't think.
No, I think I just would tell people that, like in our video, that I could jump that high, and they used to see the YouTube videos and stuff like that. Like they were like,
that did post stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think, and Brandy did it too. So I think with some of these
she's on there for like bench press or something.
I think I think YouTube helps a lot with the recruiting process.
It does.
Y'all still work in athletics nowadays, right?
Yeah, I'm a college coach, so YouTube is our main source of like.
Is that how you follow? You don't use Instagram? They don't really have Huddle for volleyball, do they?
We use Huddle, but it's not our main source of like as far as recruiting. But most likely they send us emails and they send us links, and it's all to YouTube of their video clips. And a lot of the girls do have lifting videos, so we kind of look at that and see how fast they're moving the bar and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it does come down to skill.
Yeah.
But
ours is a little different just because I work with football, so we still use Huddle and 247 Sports and all those other platforms.
Yeah, because that's stuff I like to hear to try to figure out how to help somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so like, what would y'all tell some girls looking to get recruited by volleyball? What would you tell them to do? What do you look for? You work with football and stuff, but what would y'all, if you were collegiate volleyball coaches, what would you tell the girls that they need to kind of put out there in order to help them as far as their recruiting process?
Since I am a college coach, I would say,
what do they look for? You know?
So first we look for just skill-wise. I mean, if they have the skills, if they're good, if they're talented, and then we look at their body. Like if some girls you can tell if they have potential to grow into if they start getting in the weight room. But a lot of girls we tell if we do sign, you'll say you need to get into the weight room, you need to put on some weight, you need to be able to move the bar pretty quickly. Because we need girls that can come in and play. Like we don't have time to, especially being a big major Division I, we don't have time to have someone train for 2 years. We need to be able to come in and make an immediate impact. So I would definitely say.
So y'all are looking for people that do lift.
Yeah, that's huge. We always ask like, are you in the gym? How often do you lift? And then we don't necessarily look at if they're doing conditioning wise. A lot of them say they do running, but like no, we don't really run in volleyball. We want you to be in shape, but that's not our main thing. We're looking at how are you in the room, are you in the weight room lifting and stuff like that. So.
And so you're working with football. What would you recommend for like some football guys? It's so hard. There's a billion Huddle accounts out there.
Yeah,
so many.
I didn't realize how crazy it was. So I went through National Signing Day at Baylor, and I was like, wow, this is insane. I think the biggest thing is just you're trying to make yourself stand out as an athlete. So it's like, and then finding that position that you really feel like you stand out in. And so a lot of the guys will come to Baylor saying they want to play this position, but at the end of the day, the coaches know what position they're actually going to play. So I think it's just showing that you're athletic. Like we signed a lot of players that signed as athletes, so they're not necessarily a DB or a wide receiver. They can play multiple positions. So, and just they honestly look at your injuries, like the fact that they actually go through like your physical, like on their official visit to see what injuries they have. So, and if you do have an injury, how are you recovering from it? Are you taking the proper steps to recover from that injury? So I think that's the biggest thing. And then another thing that we always touch on is just being cautious of what you post on social media. Baylor, we hire a company that searches through every athlete's social media of certain words, and we've literally lost like some of our top recruits because of what they post on social media. So there's just a lot of things.
coaches are not sitting there looking at it.
No,
It's
we don't look at it.
It's
Yeah.
companies.
it's our companies that do it.
They do that at Elon too for us. They went to our social media.
And that's
They
a,
do the same thing.
and a company's really going to do their homework.
Oh, yeah.
Versus a coach may look, okay, I ain't got to sit there and
We don't have time.
Yeah, because a kid's going to be thinking, maybe, oh, coach ain't going to be looking at all that stuff. But it's not a coach looking at it. It's a company.
It's
Yeah,
actually
and they
company.
then report it.
We'll report back to the coach.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
No,
I know
yeah.
I know they're real cautious about what you put on social media, but I'm sitting there thinking, just an average person, I think the coaches are looking at it.
No, we're not. We don't have. Our schedule is so crazy, and we're literally getting so many emails left and right from recruits. The last thing we want to do is go look at their social media.
Yeah.
So it's easy just to pay someone because they even did it to us, and they all called us. They had like a big meeting with all the athletes at Elon, and they posted after people's social media that were very inappropriate, and like they're like, you can't post this, and gave us some media training about it.
Yeah, I know James Skalski, he was at the first gym. I don't know if you remember him. He plays linebacker for Clemson now.
Oh wow.
cool.
They're not allowed to be on their Twitter or anything like that through season.
Yeah, a lot of coaches do that.
And
yeah.
so then he was logging off until the season's over. So we'll see. Hope he's been there. He started as a true freshman.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's already got a national championship ring for beating Alabama once. So hopefully he can beat Alabama again.
That's awesome. Must be nice.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, he was one of the first. So I'm glad that y'all said that about the social media
Yeah,
because
it's
I didn't have a
huge.
clue.
It's huge.
I know they said
Yeah.
they looked at it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was
Well,
that
y'all
big
don't
back
have-
in the day. Yeah,
I think when y'all graduated high school, what year?
2011.
I think my first Instagram post was 2012.
Yeah, we didn't get Instagram, I think, until our sophomore year, so it had to be 2012 or 13. It wasn't popular back
Yeah.
Yeah,
then.
the only thing we had was like YouTube. So.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and Facebook. But like,
Facebook.
who uses Facebook back then?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
really
yeah.
use Facebook.
I don't even know when the heck I got Facebook. So now I just try to use all those different avenues because I got people on email lists. I got Snapchat. I got Twitter, Instagram, and if I close for a day, people don't even realize. They'll still, hey Jared, where you at? You didn't get an email. You don't follow on Twitter. It's on Facebook. I got all those social media.
Yeah, I don't even see them. So
And they'll still miss. Oh, whatever. And so they'll say, what time? Some of the kids text me and I know who follows me on some. Jared, what time's the gym today? And I'll say, he said, well, I guess I missed that. So I'm like, whatever.
That's like our players. They drive me insane.
So
Me too.
what do y'all use? Y'all use group chat or some type of texting to let the teammates know, or how do y'all get around?
We use GroupMe, and then we use a Google Calendar, so it kind of just updates them, and they get an alert when we change like the schedule and all that stuff.
We use I forgot the name of it. It's called Team something.
Oh yeah, we use that.
And
at
it's
one
like
point,
what
too.
we used it at Southern Miss with our football team, and now we use it at Baylor with our football team. And it basically just keeps everyone's class schedule. So anytime there are changes between workouts or what time we're leaving or anything like that, it notifies us.
So Danielle's still with volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how the heck did you get to football?
So, well, at Southern Miss, I was part of all of athletics, and then when I got
You still do all the design work too, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
When I went to Baylor, I was just with our women's basketball. Baylor has a huge women's basketball program, so I was with them, and then I just got moved over to football in August. So
How you like working with football? A little different. It's a lot of crap to deal with, right?
it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot of moving parts, and guys in general don't communicate that well. They're not very organized.
Yeah, guys, that's what I tell them. I tell everybody, girls are crazy and guys are retarded.
Yep.
So it is difficult because we only have 3 women on staff in general with football, and so you're around about 200 guys like every day. But I mean, I personally like it. I like our coaches. They're just a lot more laid back than working with all women. And just the industry that I'm in, I'm usually around guys more in general.
Yeah, and I was talking to Allie, and I didn't realize how important it is to recruit based off personality because the female force, because the women are catty.
Oh, absolutely.
We've had so many issues with our
And
team.
this was at Elon, huh?
No, not
not-
Elon. We had no issues.
Yeah.
But when I
Elon
could
turned out to be really good for y'all.
Oh,
no,
our best
the
friends
best,
came from
yeah,
Elon.
the
Yeah.
best decision we've ever.
It's
made.
amazing once you get to college how you don't talk to your high school people anymore.
Yeah,
We
we have one
talked to
high school
one,
friend.
Twyla.
Yeah, but it's crazy. All these kids in high school are sitting there so concerned about what their friends are saying in high school, worried about their boyfriend and stuff. So I told some girls the other day, I said, New Year, New You. So the first thing I want you to do is go home, break up with boyfriends. They looked at me like I was crazy. I said, no, because the boyfriend will distract you.
It's
You
true.
don't have the same boyfriend you went to high school with, do you?
I don't even have a boyfriend really
Yeah, I
much in
didn't
high
even
school.
know. Yeah, I really wasn't into that.
So yeah, but y'all are focused and you.
Yeah,
and you had
and then our parents were strict too. So like they was like, oh no, we're not about to play with y'all.
Exactly. I told this girl the other day. I said you would have a shot collar and a chastity belt on if it was my daughter. So that's pretty good. I'm glad for parents like y'all that always held y'all accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Some mom dropped the kid off the other day. Honey, did you like it? Freak, I hope not.
Yeah, you're not
just
supposed
because
to like
you're not
it.
supposed to like
Yeah.
it. You're supposed to go to work.
Yeah.
And go from point A to point B is not always easy.
Mm-mm.
You know, y'all been in here crying.
Oh, multiple.
I lost my finger in here. I went through hell
Multiple
and back,
times.
Gary.
Yeah, I know. I remember I tell people that story now because people will come in here. Well, my weights now are, y'all never lifted on, they're plastic.
Yeah, see, ours are metal.
Yeah,
Back then.
yeah.
And I remember that night.
Oh, I remember that night. Like,
The,
I can't forget it.
Y'all was sitting on, it was the bench here, the dumbbell rack
Yeah.
here, and y'all were benching, and the weight. I said, ladies, y'all need to get the weights out of the way.
You always got it.
And how we're supposed to sit
that.
for them,
Yeah, sit up with them. And
She didn't
I didn't listen.
well, we started to get more people, and I had so I went to see some, and I said, look, y'all need to sit up with the weights. And I left it at that, and I walked off, and
You heard a scream.
I said, sit up with, like, screw you, Jared. I was like, whatever. And I was kind of walk over here and do my own thing. And then all of a sudden screaming, and you came to me, that damn finger was hanging off. Like,
ripped off.
The bone was out.
Yep.
And I said, oh shit.
There was so much blood. You took me
I
to the
remember
sink.
you literally took me to the sink and you were like, Chanelle, we gotta wrap it up. And Brandy came over there and
Yeah,
you're like,
then
Brandy, you gotta hold it in place. There's blood all the cover.
Yeah, it kept. So then we had to. I put a little splint.
So
on
yeah,
it.
you put a wood splint. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's
Then I
awesome.
tried to wrap it and sent you on your way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I called your mom. I said, "Are y'all already had that done?" I said,
Yep.
"We got to get the freak out of here."
Yeah, you're like, oh my goodness.
And
Yep.
so, yeah, I still tell people that. I said, because when I was in Memphis, some kid did set the weight down, and the strength coach's toe blew open like a zit. His big toe just boom, because he had flip flops on that day, and the day he had flip flops on was the day that the kid set the weight down on his toe. And then your finger. Then I've heard some other people, but you actually lost your part.
I lost it. Yeah, it didn't.
She has it in a jar at the house.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still got a fingernail.
Yeah, I like it recently just started growing back like a couple years ago, but at first I like didn't have like anything.
Oh, so it just started kind of, and it's been a while.
Yeah, it's still very sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of crazy how, but don't look bad.
No.
Does it bother you?
No, I mean, it used to.
She
At
used to
first,
be
I was like, I'm
insecure
never getting
about it.
married, but this is a ring finger.
Just give
No, I
the-
don't care.
Hey, look, just give the
Still
guy the
might
middle
not be.
finger. Married, just give him the
No, I
middle
don't
finger.
care.
Yeah, but that's kind of crazy how the body's taking care of itself.
Mhm.
You know, you didn't have one, now you're just kind of growing back. That's kind of really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a crazy night. It was y'all and Brandy. Who else was there?
Brooke Stevens. Do you remember her from East Coweta?
yeah.
She drove us. So
Yeah, she
to
drove
the
us
hospital,
there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is she a coach now? Y'all ever talk to her?
I don't know where
Oh,
she
I have no idea where
is.
she's
I
at
think she
now.
just got engaged though.
Holy cow! So I saw somebody else is engaged and pregnant or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
It's the wave.
Yeah, all y'all are now. You know,
Well, we're not on that wave.
We're like
but-
adults now. It's like adults. Like, it's weird thinking that we're actually adults now.
yeah, like Lasky's he's married. And got a
He's
baby.
married and has a baby.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I've probably been to 2 or 3 weddings.
Yeah.
What 3? Y'all were just little turds in here at the gym.
I know.
Giving Jared a hard time. Now
It's
everybody's
so
getting married with some
weird.
kids.
I
Like,
know.
like Brandy.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't believe she'll probably be engaged at some point.
I said, Brandy, I hope that will, like you were.
I know.
Brandy would come here and try to go sleep on the freaking floor.
Yeah, we used to try to get away with everything, but you shut that down real
But
quick.
yeah, y'all, yeah, y'all really helped me out a lot, you know, because I came off like real nice to everybody.
Yeah, you were.
But y'all, sometimes it was just me and you two,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or sometimes it'd be
It was very small groups, yeah. It was
yeah.
like no more than like
so
4
then
people.
it was more of a time where we could be more personal
Yeah.
and stuff. But then when we got a big group, y'all were used to me playing around with y'all,
Yeah.
and so then it was kind of harder for me. So then now, I guess it's good that everything's a little bigger because sometimes I don't talk to it. Like if y'all were to come into here first, I may not say a whole lot to you.
Mhm.
It's because what I do is, are they going to work?
Yeah.
Are they going to be? How hard are they going to try? You know, you say,
Mhm.
but I think if your mom and dad is watching, I think you'd have to work.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I tell this one kid, I said I need to call your dad so he can come in and watch you because you're about to freaking drive me nuts. So yeah, I sometimes have to wait and see if they want to work
Mhm.
before I kind of divulge a little bit more time to them. Because when you're dealing with a lot more people, all right, man, they're working pretty hard.
Mhm.
Oh man, they just did that. Then I start going over and say, okay, look, let's try this and this. Then we'll start pull in more different things to where we could try to get better at it.
I think we used to get jealous though, because like, well, at least I did. It's like we were like the original crew. We were like the OGs. So it was like, so then like when all these new people started coming, and then we used to talk to them a lot because like they didn't know what they were doing. They were like deers when they squatted, and so I'd be like, what? I was like, we were here from the beginning. I was like, he's not gonna like really coach us like that anymore. So I used to get kind of jealous, but now I passed it. I moved on.
Yeah, because it's kind of like Colton and stuff. But they'll try to come talk as they were. Colton's above 400 pounds. You know, he's kind of an elite lifter. He also won highest vertical jump kid in the country.
That's crazy. God, I remember they were like scrubs.
Yeah, so little.
Especially
so little.
Especially Colton was the little one.
I know.
It's so weird.
It's weird.
And so yeah, out of Nike Spark rating, he was #1 vertical jump kid.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
So vertical jump still, I get calls all over the country, and now from overseas about jump training.
Dang, that's awesome.
So Jared's Jared's in the process of writing a book or a jump training manual.
Oh really?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, well when you get that, please send that my way, or let me know when I can order it.
Because it's a lot. Jumping now, because with y'all coming, always had to try to make sure you were jumping higher, always make. And so now the system is, I've had over 20 guys reach 40 inches plus.
Wow.
I've had 8th grade girls reach 30 inches in the vertical.
Wow.
So.
Do they play volleyball?
Lacrosse.
Next time.
So yeah, I don't have any volleyball girls.
I know, it's sad.
I think some of these. Y'all play for Tsunami, right? Any other club?
Yeah, we played for Atlanta Boom.
Like for like literally
That
4
was-
or 5 years.
Was Boom first or Tsunami first?
Boom
Boom
was
was
first.
first, and Tsunami was last.
Did Tsunami buy out Boom?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I think just kind of disbanded because some of the coaches that were at Boom are now at Tsunami.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A5 still alive.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
A5 still like pretty
The top
like
dogs.
top. Yeah.
Now, as far as volleyball, do you ever look at A5 girls or?
yeah, we try to recruit some, but it's just hard. Just trying to recruit people to come all the way to Oregon, so from Georgia, so it's a little bit difficult.
So do you find that if they have to travel further away from home, it's kind of because some like Nevada was looking at Colton, but they wanted him to walk on because they were trying to get some kids from California. So do you think the distance plays a role in recruiting?
No, it does. It just because like
Yeah.
you want to build connections with your group that's near your where your school is at. So for us, like being in Portland State, we try to get a lot of kids from Washington, California, Nevada, and Oregon. And so you really try to build that connection with those close states. So you don't really reach out to the ones on the East Coast. But since I'm from the East Coast, now we're trying to get some girls. But it's just hard to just talk to girls about traveling on a 5-hour flight away from home when they're 18 years old. So it's a little bit difficult.
How do you like living way out there? A lot different here?
Oh yeah, it's very, very different. It's different. I mean, just the culture is just different. It's a very liberal area, I should say, especially coming from southern Mississippi, which is very conservative. So a lot of stuff is very laid back there. And just also I'm the only African American person on staff at Portland State in athletic department. So that's also just, you kind of just an outcast there. But I like it. It's a good adjustment. I needed to be out of my comfort zone and kind of be on my own, especially being away from her. So I like being away. I mean, I hate being away from my family, but I needed that.
Yeah, so y'all were separated for the first
Yeah.
time. And you're at Baylor, which is northeast, and you're
Texas.
Portland, which is northwest. And
Very
so
far.
That's y'all are not even close, huh?
No, not at all. So we see each other once a year, maybe twice a
Yeah,
year.
because I was talking to Joe. He said, "Well, we don't ever get to see each other."
Yeah, I haven't seen
This is
Joe
the
in
first
like,
time.
it's the first time we've been together in almost a couple weeks, like
A year, probably a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Mom and Daddy don't like that, huh?
No.
Or
They don't have
is the
a
house
choice.
a lot
You gotta pay
quieter?
your bills.
I think they're kind of used to it because we all went far away for college. Like Joe was in New York, we were in North Carolina, and then while Joe was still in New York, we were in Southern Mississippi. So I think they're kind of used to us not being close.
So y'all went to Southern Miss together, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was that? How'd y'all? That's where Brett Favre's from. Y'all ever see him walking around?
Yeah,
Yeah, I coached his daughter.
his daughter
She
played.
coaches. Yeah, she was a freshman when I was my last year being a J for the volleyball team. So I interacted with him a lot.
Was she pretty cool, or is she kind of more cocky because?
No, she's actually the exact opposite of Brett. So very reserved. She was very quiet, just kept to herself, real nonchalant. Like she didn't want people to know who she was. So
Yeah, I could see that with some people like
Yeah,
that. You don't want to be
'cause-
bothered.
yeah, because like even just us traveling, like people would see her name, and so we would have to get security and just have to change her name on food orders because as soon as they saw far, they knew. it was her. And then we also played at Wisconsin.
That's kind of got to be that's got to be annoying for her though.
It,
right?
it is. I feel bad for her because she can't have like a normal college experience because she doesn't know if they're genuine about trying to be her friend and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I played football at Memphis with Gostowski, the kicker for the Patriots.
Yeah.
He still kicks for
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez.
And yeah, so he's, but he came down to Georgia for camp because Chris Hansen also played for the Patriots. And Chris was a punter, Gostowski's a kicker, and I was a long snapper, so we all kind of got together, put on a camp for kids around here. And I was talking to Gostowski, and he said he don't like people liking him for what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He said he wants people like him for who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And so he, as a kicker for the Patriots, he's trying to kind of had a hard time identifying whether people liked him
Or genuine, yeah.
Yeah, and so she probably had the same problem.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Did Olympia ever have that with Lee?
Um.
Because y'all went to school with Olympia.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, she was a
Yeah.
senior. We were a freshman.
So y'all never got talked to her.
No, we were really close.
We were really
yeah,
close
we were
to her,
really close.
yeah.
We used to go watch her when she played at Auburn. But hers was a little bit similar. I don't think he was as known in athletics. Her dad, Lee Haney, as more as like on the Olympics, like lifting side, he was more well known. But people also knew she was, but
It was okay. Haney's more of a common name instead of Favre.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't, people really didn't think about like, oh, is that Lee Haney's daughter? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was Brett Favre dealing with Favre? Was he a little controlling or what? I don't know how much you can say, but whatever.
I think I had a different perspective of how she dealt with him because I was with football, so I was around him different. I was around the ball on the football side, and he was always really nice to us. Anytime we had to interact with him or we needed him to do a promotion on the field or anything like that, I never had any issues with him, and he was always on campus.
Because in his younger days, he seemed to be a little bit more sporadic and a little chaotic. But as he's gotten older, he seems to be more appreciative of what's happened.
yeah, I think to a certain extent. I just think when it comes to your child, it just
People do anything
all
for their
bets are
child,
off.
yeah.
Yeah. So his daughter came to Southern Miss and was on a full scholarship, and so she didn't see the court her freshman year at all.
But that's to be expected as an athlete.
Well, you
athletes-
would think, yeah, you would think that, but because of who she is, he more wanted her.
Was her skill set very high, or did she need to be one of the ones to get in the weight room too?
Yeah, one of the ones that needed to get in the weight room, and he was more he was a parent that wanted to reach out to you, wanted us, like he would reach to us, say, hey, can you train my daughter? But when you're in college, we work with the athletes. We don't interact with the parents. We barely speak to the parents at all. So if your daughter wants to train, she has to contact us directly and ask for extra reps or anything like that. We're not going to go to the parents and say, if you text us saying, hey, train my daughter, no, it's going to be a no, your daughter needs to come to us.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so I think the kids, like you said, you got out of your comfort zone, moving on. So if these kids, that just helps with the maturation process. It's the part of growing up.
Yeah.
You know, if you're sitting there let mom and daddy do it, mom and daddy paying your bills now?
No.
No.
Off the payroll.
Yeah.
But
That's
but that's that sucks. But that's good because if your mom and dad were always there for you, but they always push you.
Yeah.
You know, where I think where some people like that just got to realize, hey, look, if she don't have, that's her.
That's her, yeah.
You know, you can't go off your name your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't want people to set back. But that's good. She don't have the skill set just because of her name. She's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, y'all still making it work.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's ultimately about the team winning.
Exactly.
Especially at the collegiate level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's our job to line if we don't win.
Now, was there a big difference in collegiate volleyball and high school volleyball?
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
for
so.
sure. It's a lot faster paced. I
Yeah.
would say.
And it was a little different because we were in the Southern Conference like our first 3 years, and then we changed to the CAA, which is a bigger conference our senior year. So the girls were just a lot bigger. A lot of them were like not from the United States. A lot of them were like foreign, and so the game was just a lot faster. They hit harder, so just getting used to that speed and that tempo change was probably the hardest part.
Why do you think the bigger division schools make those athletes work out a lot more, huh? And
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, I think they definitely do. They demand a lot more from the athletes when you're at a bigger, at a Power 5 school. I would say when you're at a mid-major school, I would say the strength coaches aren't as dedicated because it's more of like our school is more of a stepping stone to them. So for us, like we went through 7 or 8 strength coaches in our 4 years.
At Elon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was literally every 3 or 4 months we were getting a new strength coach. So
That's kind of frustrating.
it is.
And so, like, was at Clayton State for 2 years, and I just get your players developed, and they
Yeah.
you know, then they dissipate that.
Yeah.
The thing, but I wasn't there full time because my whole stipulation was I still got to run my gym.
Yeah.
So they had budget cuts and stuff like that. So
Oh,
it's just kind of they don't really have a lot of alumni that's going off and done stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that helps them.
It's huge. Yeah, it is.
How'd y'all get? How'd you go? You went Southern Miss. How'd y'all get separated?
So
She left before me.
yeah, I left before her. About halfway, like basically around this time last year. Actually on social media, the guy that was basically the director of creative services at Baylor, literally DM'd me and asked me if I was interested in the role there at Baylor. And so I interviewed there, and within literally 2 weeks, I was like at Baylor. So that's kind of how it like.
That's quick.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. Well, like college.
Yeah, college zone it's
really
fast. It has to be
fast,
in Portland
so.
within 2 weeks from Mississippi.
Yeah, so it's pretty fast. So.
Yeah, I've got a roommate that works on my old roommate. Now he don't live with me, but from college, he was at Vanderbilt. Then got a call from Michigan State. He was gone.
Yeah.
They packed his stuff up.
It's fast.
It's very quick.
Yeah, and so I thought that was kind of crazy because I'm not really on that side of the athletics.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun. You get to travel. You get a bunch of gear. So.
Well,
You're the best.
Especially at that level, they try to brand you.
Yeah, because being in the Big 12 in general it's a pretty big conference, and you have big schools in there like Texas and Oklahoma.
And so if you walk around, you need to have your school colors on your shoes.
Oh, absolutely.
Your shirts.
You can't wear any Adidas. You have to wear Nike. It has to be basically anything issued like you have to wear.
Yeah, are they pretty good about giving it out? Or you got
I think since I was on the athletic side first, you get gear, but not as much as being with a team. When I'm with football, our bowl gear alone, we got like 2 travel suits, like travel bags, shoes,
Yeah.
like you get like a bunch of stuff. So now that I'm with football, I get a ton of gear just because they want us to all look the same at all times and we're traveling together.
Yeah, because you got to represent that school. They want you to know that Baylor's there.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference? Because Elon's FCS, right? What do you think the biggest difference between FCS and FBS schools are?
Funding, money.
Yeah, I would say money.
TV rights is a huge thing. A lot of schools, you have the Big Ten network, SEC network, ACC network, all
you
that.
You have the Longhorn network.
Yeah, and all that money that they make gets divided among the schools.
Yeah.
So it gets funded back into the program. So that's the biggest difference. That's the money. What is it? I don't even know the word for it.
Yeah, I guess, and just like, and I guess like she said, the funding, and when you go to a bowl game or you win a national championship with any school, like she said, the money that you make is divided among every team in the conference. Like FCS isn't like that. Like if Towson wins the championship for FCS, like we don't profit off.
We don't reap the benefits of it. It's
so
like their school just does.
So at the end of the day, it kind of makes it more of like a collaboration type of thing because we kind of want to cheer for OU when in reality we don't like OU, but they're going to bring us more money, so we have to cheer for them.
Yeah, and it helps with recruiting and everything
Oh,
else.
absolutely, absolutely.
The facilities are changing a lot. Did the Elon's facility change a lot?
Yeah, we actually just opened a brand new arena a few months back.
Yeah.
It just opened, so it looks like a huge, like what you see at like the FBS schools, it just opened.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff is changing. Like at Clayton State, I'll have 2 racks.
Jeez.
To train 16 athletes at once.
That's rough.
I don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, and I was still able to get results with them. And sometimes our assistant coaches wouldn't even care about that. They just want them to come in there and work. And I've always used the weight room as a performance thing instead of a conditioning tool or anything. Too many people, and I think sometimes if you use it as a conditioning tool, you never see a performance benefit. Did y'all lose any strength when you got to Elon?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Because I tell people like a lot of people that went off to college, they come back, they're weaker. You know, like last year went to Georgia Tech. He got here with a 32-inch vertical. Went to Tech for 4 years. Came back with a 32-inch vertical.
Yeah, no, you do. It's
and
just
then
nice.
before we went to the NFL, he had time. That was the first time he never came during college either. Because once you get to college and you play in that college sport, you got summertime.
Yeah.
You got first semester, second semester in summertime. You got summer school. You got all this other crap. So they'll usually stay at school and train.
Yep.
And at this time, he was trying to get ready for the league, and coach told me he didn't really have a shot.
Oh wow.
And so he drove here 3 days a week from Georgia Tech. In the morning, he'd set his class in the afternoon, and he went from 32 to 38-inch vertical.
Wow.
And so he was entered the draft as a running back, and he had top 5 numbers of every NFL category, whether it be broad jump, vertical jump, 225 bench press, the shuttle. Out of all those things, he was top 5 in all those categories.
Oh, wow.
And so that's kind of been
Great.
my goals for him. Mike Hilton had a hard time because of his height.
He's balling with the Steelers.
Yeah, so he's doing really good too.
He
And
is.
so I've not seen him in years either. I've not seen anybody much since they've left.
Yeah, because he's been gone. 'Cause he was at Ole Miss, and then he trained a lot, and then now he's married too. So he's just all over the place too.
Yeah, and once you get to the NFL career, you're busy for a while.
Yeah.
So what would y'all recommend for like young female athletes trying to play volleyball to get? You talked about the recruiting. So you think the lifting is the biggest thing in skill set?
I would say skill set. You have to have skills in general in any sport to be.
I guess a combination of both. That's
Yeah,
what I
a
tell
combination
people,
of both. Yeah.
Because it's like that's a pie. If you work on your skill, and you don't have the physical ability to perform that skill, like whether it be jumping ability, whether it be strength and power, you need to work on your strength and power. But if you don't work on your strength and power all the time, and you don't have the
skills,
you're not
it
going
does
to
nothing for you.
I think some people and some of these people that get recruited, they have a mixture of that. Is there anything else you think? What do you think is better, high school or club ball?
Club for volleyball, it's club. We don't look at high school at all.
Football, obviously, you only have high school, so
yeah.
So for football, it's just
straight up high school. Yeah.
Do you think they look at those all-star games or anything else like that, or you think it's mainly just through the huddle and the 24/7 sports?
Yeah, that's really what ours is through.
Or they're looking at huddle for skill, or are they using the 24/7 sports for like the 40 times or?
Yeah, well, I know when I had to look up their stuff, we use 24/7 sports for just like their 40 time and height, weight, and things like that. But I think for the most part they use huddle to actually look at like their film and what they actually like to see. And also it just depends because every school has a type of player that they want. So it's like you could be the most athletic person in the world, but Baylor just doesn't want them. So we've gone through situations where he's a great player, he's just not a Baylor player in general. So
so what do you think? They're looking at the height, weight. You think because like I took Colton to Virginia. If you're not 6'3", 205, we don't want you as outside linebacker. You may be able to play inside linebacker at 6 foot, but you got to show us some real good skills.
Yeah.
But then if they don't have film on them,
yeah.
Like what would you think if? What do you think a kid's playing out of position in high school? Y'all have to cover that because you said something about earlier about if they're an athlete they can play. But do you think so? Like if you take an offensive lineman, you think they can play linebacker?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because Colton played defensive end, and he was real small for a DN. He was 6'6", 205.
Yeah, he is really small.
And so some of these schools like Ole Miss is looking at him, Ohio State, Washington State, South Carolina, Buffalo, Nevada. He can name a lot more of them than I can. And they wanted to see him open up his hips, turn, cover, and do things like that. He was already second state in sacks, had the highest vertical jump in the country. He ran a 4.6, 140, complete laser. And his numbers were top 5 of all NFL categories as a high schooler. He benched 225 29 times, 450 bench. So he's already stronger than most linemen.
Yeah.
But those schools want to see him play linebacker. And the coach in high school let him. It's kind of like Joe. They wasn't giving Joe an opportunity either. And so Joe had to transfer. And so I kind of wish we would have had Colton transfer. How much do you think playing like for Colton or some of those other kids that are struggling, like y'all saw Landon, they had him offensive line, now he plays fullback. How you going to go from offensive line to a fullback?
Yeah,
it's kind of like really non-existent. So do you have any advice or anything like that?
I don't know. It's like.
Are you still too new to football?
I kind of am, but it's just like Baylor's a different beast because I feel like our coaches are very they're very open minded. We have our running backs training as a safety. Like we just they move they change around positions a lot. So which I don't think a lot of schools do that. So that's why it's hard for me to kind of speak on just because Baylor's a different beast.
Yeah, this is the first time you deal with football, so I guess you had some other football schools to deal with. have some of the inner workings. I know Lasky's starting to do some recruiting and stuff for Georgia Tech. You know, he was at Georgia Tech, went to the league for a little while, and now he's back helping Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
But sometimes if he sees, I won't cover all that stuff. So, and so he just told me some stuff about how it kind of works as far as his standpoint. You know, it'd be nice. Once I've got Alex Barr. You remember Alex Barr?
The name sounds familiar.
Big 6'7", 320 pounds. He was with Lasky and then a good bit too. He's a coach at NIU.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow.
And so I don't even know if I even got into it with Joe about the recruiting process too, because it's tough to deal with.
It is.
But you know, sometimes these kids are playing out of position. Like I got a kid that's going to go to Cornell, but if he had transferred schools in high school, he would never be there. If Joe didn't transfer schools in high school, he would never have went to Army.
Yeah.
You know, like some of these kids, but now some of these high schools are getting stapled down to where these kids can't transfer. Which is sad because these high school coaches are not helping them.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating too.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get off on that rant, but just always get frustrated with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
It's tough.
And my job is to try to help these kids.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to figure out how can I better help them.
For football, I would say it's pretty difficult because sometimes if you transfer, it looks like you're taking the easy way out or going to a school where you can play immediately. So that is just a little bit.
Okay, that could be okay, that makes sense right there because I forgot, I had this kid. If you transfer schools too often, they may, as far as the recruiting process, they may think that, they'll get here and they'll transfer too.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to recruit the best fit for your team in that class, and if you see someone skipping around high school all the time,
it's a red flag. You're like, oh, why are they always transferring?
Yeah, because I had a kid. He went to Heritage High School, went to Union High School, went to Auburn High School, and he went to IMG Academy. Each different year of high school.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a little too much, but
Ends up getting a scholarship to Notre Dame.
I was gonna say, if he's going to IMG Academy, he's got to be raw then.
IMG Academy is really good.
That's really good too.
A lot of people do that. If you're a well-known, I would say a prep school, I guess what IMG Academy is, then I feel like it's common. Like everyone knows, if you're on the football, you know IMG Academy. So if you go to that school, it's like, okay, you're evidently a good athlete, like you're good at your sport.
Yeah, because he went to IMG Academy, went to Notre Dame for a ride, played as a true freshman, left.
Where do you go?
South Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Why do you South Alabama? Okay,
I think the story goes, I don't know, so I'm just going to say I think. I don't think he was getting enough reps in spring. So he leaves. It don't make any sense. You travel and play as a true freshman, so why not just stick it out? You know, you're not always going to be on top.
I mean,
it might be the location. I don't think a lot of people think about that in the recruiting process. That's one thing that our parents really stress to us about going to when you choose your school. Because I mean, we got recruited by really big schools too, but it's what if you? I always tell people that we recruit. Would you like the school if you were not an athlete?
Yeah.
So that's huge. A lot of people go to school because they think of the name. Like you hear Notre Dame, it sounds really cool. We've been there. I'm sorry, it'd be very tough to go to school there.
There's nothing to do.
There's nothing there. There's nothing in South Bend.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. It's cold. And if you're African American, you're really going to be an outcast there. So it's difficult. If you're especially, it's a lot of those football players, they come from where there's a lot of other people that are like us. So when you go to a school that's like that, it's a huge adjustment in that aspect. So that might be another reason why he left. But if you're going into the recruiting process, I would definitely say is look at the school for just what the school is, not what athletics are.
Yeah, so would you tell them to kind of label out the schools that they would want to, I guess, the athletic things get in the way. What school would be cool to go play football for versus which school would you go to as if you didn't play athletics? You know, so you just tell them, hey, look, go pick a school, not for the sport, but what school you think is cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't know what's cool.
Yeah, I would say just, a lot of people would say, like, I always tell people if they're looking at big schools, because when we used to coach club volleyball, girls would always ask us, because we went through the same thing they would go through, and I would say, like, would you be okay with sitting on the bench and not playing and still being at the school? Like, just because you like the school that much? And a lot of people would sit there and be like, no, I would not. Okay, so then that's not the best school for you. Like, don't just go. I was like, you have to think of all aspects. If you're playing all the time, if you're injured, if you're not playing, if you get kicked off the team, or if your coach doesn't want to bring you back to the program, would you still want to go to this school? So I feel like that for us, that Elon checked a lot of those boxes, because we originally committed to Howard,
Mhm.
and so we're just thinking, oh, Howard, great volleyball school. Like, okay, cool.
That's in DC.
Yeah, and
you
then
want to go
thinking where we're
HBCU?
from. Yeah,
It
thinking-
take you 4 hours to go 3 feet.
yeah, exactly. So for us, we were like, okay, let's check all these boxes. Would we be okay going to school here if we weren't an athlete? No. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, no, next.
Yeah,
It just would not work for us.
Busy up there.
Yeah.
I took we had to fly into DC to go down to Virginia. It's only 200 miles. I think it took us 4 hours to get maybe 6 hours to get back and 3 hours to go
Yeah,
back.
it's insane.
One direction would took double time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we missed most of Virginia camp because of the traffic to get there.
Yeah.
Unless Colton took me on some detour because he didn't want to go in the first place. You know, everything's possible. And so because I took him to we was at NIU, pulled his hamstring,
Yeah. Oh, that's...
and he still went through all the practice. So we drove, and we hopped on planes, flew to DC, drove down to Virginia. He ran run around, said he's done. And I looked at him and tried to make him run another one. He said, I can't.
Oh, his hamstrings, that bad.
Yeah, then he came back and was bruised all up. So he
Ooh.
actually went through NIU camp, pulled hamstring, went through drills to try to run a round or two at Virginia and said no. Done.
Nope.
And so at that point of time, it became, well, he's gonna look bad. He's gonna get burned all the time
Mhm.
because he's gonna be trying to cover and he can't cover
Yeah,
because
yeah.
pulled hamstring. So try to go talk to coaches. They said, well, seeing is believing. If we don't see you,
Yeah.
so whatever. So we left and didn't even communicate with him back because you can't really do anything at that
You
point.
can't, yeah.
What was some of the experiences that y'all at Howard? Any other schools? Why Elon?
Well, I think for me, career-wise, I knew I wanted to go to Elon because they have a great communications program. So that's part of the reason why I chose Elon. And the fact that it was kind of far away from home, kind of not. It's a botanical gardens, Elon. Like our whole campus was considered botanical gardens. And right when we got there, we had like all brand new facilities. So we had a brand new like locker room,
yeah.
brand new weight room, like brand new like court. Everything was pretty much brand new when we got there. So, and we really connected with the team, and so to me, it was one of the best decisions we
Yeah,
ever
I keep
made.
forgetting about that female personality thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You gotta connect with the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all get a chance to play with them? Like I know at Clayton State, they'll bring in some recruits.
Well, no, NCAA, yeah.
For basketball?
Yeah,
And they'll be able to practice with them. Can
Yeah.
you do that for volleyball or do you
NCAA, you
NCAA,
can't.
like,
You're
what
not
is
allowed
Clayton
to.
State division? What division is that?
Two?
Yeah.
It's
Well, yeah, Division II, the levels are very different. So Division II, they're allowed to do that. Division I just passed a rule this past year that you can, I think it's just basketball can practice with them
okay. Yeah.
and stuff like that. But it's different. Like we can't have
But
recruits on campus.
we can watch them. They can watch the practice, but they can't practice.
Yeah, or they can do an open gym, but coaches can't be there.
Yeah.
See, I think sometimes that's critical too. I think it probably does need, especially with basketball.
Mhm.
You know, because when you got a small, close-knit group of guys, like I know, like when the Patriots came down to watch Zach, they're assessing personality.
Mm-hmm.
How's this guy going to get along with our running backs?
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you don't really, no one knows anybody about watching.
Yeah.
You know, if I put you on the court against your sister, y'all know each other. You know how you're going to interact. You know what skills, what she's about to do. But if you bring someone in, and say you were to bring this other girl in, and you never seen her, and she does something you don't like, then that can cause some kind of ruckus and not get along.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know someone's personality until you start playing them.
No, yeah, and you go through adversity, and then that's when you see a lot of true colors. And,
Yeah, so it'd be nice if they let the basketball players work. You know,
Mhm.
football's a different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football's tough. You can't. It's hard to.
Yeah,
Football's so
I mean, drills, yeah, but it's not the same as actual game.
Yeah, and so you don't know how guys are retarded. You know, they can jive with anybody.
Yeah, I feel like guys just they mesh. Like it's not a big thing for you can literally bring a group of guys together and all get along. Females, it's like who is that?
Yeah. And why is she talking to him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just really catty.
And so that's good. Is there anything else that y'all like to cover? Anything else you think we've not?
No, just shout out to you. It was so funny. Yeah, funny story. I just told them that. So one of my friends coaches at Georgia Tech, and so they just got a new staff.
Mhm.
So they brought in our old coach from Elon, who's a strength coach,
Mhm.
and he was there our freshman year. Coach Horton, I think it was the first semester of our freshman year, and he had went to them and was like, "Oh my God, do you know the twins from Elon? Like you coached them?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, they were like strong as hell." Da-da-da. So it's so funny. I was like, "All right, you out to Jared." I was being
Yeah,
super
'cause
strong.
y'all still get complimented on it,
Oh,
on your strength, don't you?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you see your build. You're not changing all. Y'all said y'all got here today, and you said, Jerry, you look the same. I said, damn, I guess.
You really do look the same.
Yeah, you look the same.
You look the same.
So it's
Must be
kind
some in the water.
it's kind of crazy how 26 and time's gone by so fast.
I know.
Yeah.
It seriously flies by.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell you all that when you were in high school.
No, you really, and I literally say that to my players, like our incoming freshmen and recruits. I'm like, it literally flies by. Like you'll be sitting here and it'll be 4 years later, like I'm out of college. Like it's insane.
What would you tell young Danielle and Chanelle going back to like 9th grade? What would y'all? Is there anything that y'all would change any differently, or what? If you can go back and talk, you see, there was a girl in here who looks like Allie, acts like Allie, when Allie was a freshman. And Allie was in here the same day that girl was. Because Allie just left today to go back to Sweden. And so I said, Allie, go talk to that girl. Because I can't do it. And because that's little you. So what would you tell little Danielle and Chanelle in the gym? Because when Allie talked to her, something changed, and I don't know what it was. The girl added more weight to the bar because she's kind of always got that goofy personality to where she don't want to do it because she's embarrassed because she can barely do it. And when Joe was talking, we was talking about like the stronger he got, the more of a voice he could get because as your strength comes along, so does your confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
But y'all never really had any confidence issues.
I never.
And so sometimes you get those. I mean, you may see it with dealing with athletics. These little girls come in, they want to laugh and play it off because they're embarrassed.
Yeah,
but that's frustrating to try to get them to go from point A to point B because all they want to do is play around because they're so embarrassed. What would you tell that young Danielle and Chanelle there that you could see if y'all were playing around, or what would you tell someone to help motivate them, like Allie told that girl? Because that girl, something clicked. She had more weight and she started trying. And I told her, I said, you got an identity problem. This is me talking, but no, I said, I see that you want to get better, but you still goof off. I said, because you've created this identity where you can hide behind this goofy personality, but you want people to take you serious at the same time. I said, so I see that you want to get better, and I see underlying that goofy personality as a serious athlete. You kind of need to grow up and get rid of that goofy personality so that people start taking you serious. If you always goof off, no one's going to listen to you. I said, I don't care how bad you are. I don't care how weak you are. I only care about you getting better. And if you continue to show up, you continue to work, even the days you don't want to, you'll be so much better than you ever thought you could be. And so I had this one kid, they try to get out of crap in here now because it's a lot different. I measured the bar speeds and we have to beat certain aspects now because I've kind of got it foolproof. You don't leave dumbbell jumps till you break your record. So you almost trying to come into the gym every day, break a record. Then we got this tread sled, trying to break your tread sled record. You may have a depth jump, we try to break your depth jump record. When if I want you to do specific sets and stuff on squats, you have to break your speed records because now I'm training them to where we're trying to develop a specific strength quality. And the strength quality that we primarily try to develop is called strength speed. So we're trying to move the bar generally 0.6 meters per second. And so where a dumbbell jump is called speed strength. Faster velocity. Speed. And strength speed is a heavier weight moved at a certain specific speed range. And so and so then it's a lot different, but that's how I was able to get my guys at Clayton State with minimum equipment to go 4.68 inches on the vertical. With an average improvement on bench press of 35 pounds. So they're a lot stronger to hold themselves in. And so then when they're going off and playing like a higher division, they played Kennesaw State, so they played a higher division. And so some of those guys are like you said, the higher divisions have a lot more power. You know, that's just kind of how they're recruited at. You know, like my guys are not going to the NBA. They're hoping to get some overseas contracts and stuff like that, where you got some guys at a higher level that may have a shot at the NBA. Their body, like you said, the body size, they got the numbers. And so all that to say, what would you kind of tell someone that you saw goofing off? You know, not like what Jared would say, but I'm kind of getting better at trying to tell the athletes.
That's a good question.
I would say don't be afraid to be a leader. I think as a female, we kind of don't want to, excuse my language, we don't want to look like the bitch in front of everyone.
Yeah, that could probably be because if you tell someone what to do, and if you're female, people are going to think you're a bitch.
Yeah, and so it's.
See, that's why it's good to talk. That's why I like talking to females versus guys.
It's very different.
It's a different perspective.
It is.
And sometimes as a guy, and like me, hell, I don't know. I didn't even know, like until Ali said, they recruited on whether you're going to jive or get along with the team or not. You know, and that's, keep going on that because I didn't even think about.
Yeah. That plays huge, and I think for us, I think that's why we got, even just from going from high school to college, I think that's why we got the respect we did, because we never tried to be, we tried to be their friend, but we always had a respect. They always had a respect for us.
But y'all were so much more physically developed than everybody.
Yeah, that too. But then we demanded the same from everyone. It wasn't just because you were our friend didn't mean we were like, it's okay, you can be lazy in a workout. If we weren't close to you, we're gonna be on you. But it was demanded across the board. And even to this day, like a lot of our friends, not even athletes, and just our old teammates literally tell us all the time, like without Chanelle and I, they would not have gotten the confidence or the motivation to like push themselves out of their comfort zone, because we didn't baby anyone. We always we have very strong personalities. So we come into the gym, you're gonna know we're in the room wherever we're at. And so I think it was we just demanded that respect from every single person, and then you start demanding it from yourself too.
Once you start leading them, what happens? You create your own identity.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're known as this physical freak athlete, very well developed body. That's your identity.
Yeah.
And so you don't want someone to catch you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you want to be the example because you're already at the top.
Yeah. And exactly, so that's what kind of created that just environment within our team. It's like, once we all got how we were, and we're always demanding from each other, we could start getting catty. We would talk a lot of crap to each other, and it was never any animosity. It's like on the court, in the weight room, we're getting after it. We feel like you're being lazy. Come on, step it up, let's go, we're better than that. And it wasn't just coming from us. And so that's what for us we wanted to put on each other. It shouldn't just come from the two black girls on the team. It started to come from everybody. And so that's what even now they say, like, you guys gave us the confidence to stand up for ourselves, just do a lot of things that you don't get, because a lot of girls are just afraid to just be known as like the mean one, the bitch in the group. But you gotta have a certain type of confidence, I was like, in general.
How do you think you developed that?
I think I don't know, because I feel like I'm a little different, because I'm a lot more reserved than she is. Obviously, like she's talked like 80% of the time. She's like, I'm just a lot more reserved than she is. But I feel like it's like, I think the biggest thing that you have to understand is like finding the way that you lead. Like I'm not necessarily the most vocal person. I'm not as aggressive as Danielle is, but I've been on team captain on every single team that I've been on. But it's like I lead differently than how Danielle leads. So it's like it's finding the ways that you lead, whether it's like vocally, whether it's actually you're a doer and you want people to follow you. So for me, the way I led at Elon is I led on the court as much as I could, but I also led outside of the court with my career-wise and what I wanted to do by getting my stuff together outside of the court. So I think it's finding your voice and finding that internal confidence to lead in any way that you feel comfortable leading is, I think, is the biggest thing, because everyone thinks that to have that confidence to get shit done, it's like you have to just be this little loud vocal person, and that's not necessarily who I am all the time. Sometimes I'm just a very like stoic, like quiet, reserved person. But best if I need to get on your ass, I will in 2 seconds. But I have that demeanor where it's like, just don't mess with me and we'll be fine, or we're gonna get stuff done. So
yeah, and that's kind of more my personality. I'm kind of more quiet, laid back, especially my basketball guys. But I don't know. They pissed me off one day. We did something. They told me I gave them PTSD.
No surprise there.
Oh yeah, the problem still gives it to me. So
and they said we don't ever want to see that again, because I'm pretty usually quiet, reserved.
Yeah.
But I led by example by out jumping them all.
Yeah.
And so, but I've not always been a good jumper. But I had to try to figure out how to get even better. I had to do it myself. And I told my guys, look, if I can't jump, how can I teach you?
Yeah.
And so, because I look like a person that can't even get 3 inches off the ground, but when they see me do it, they're like, that thing's rigged. But I think that helped me as far as leading them. But on my standpoint, it's my job. They know I'm there to help them. And so I can lead by example of that, so I don't really have to talk a whole lot.
Exactly.
And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. If I can outdo them, or if I could show them just a little bit of improvement, I would do that. And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. If I can outdo them, or if I could show them just a little bit of improvement, I would do that. And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. If I can outdo them, or if I could show them just a little bit of improvement, I would do that. And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. If I can outdo them, or if I could show them just a little bit of improvement, I would do that. And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. If I can outdo them, or if I could show them just a little bit of improvement, I would do that. And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. If I can outdo them, or if I could show them just a little bit of improvement, I would do that. And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. If I can outdo them, or if I could show them just a little bit of improvement, I would do that. And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. If I can outdo them, or if I could show them just a little bit of improvement, I would do that. And so I don't have to yell and motivate them. I give them a lot of confidence in the long run, so they'll come back and do it without many questions. But how do you get over that bitch stigma?
I don't necessarily think you get over it. I mean,
I never got over
Just
it.
if you do it one time or 2 times, you may get that tag, but I think you can wear the tag off. It's kind of like a logo on your shirt. I think if you got the tag, whatever, you do it enough that it will fade away.
Yeah, I don't like, even for me, like I feel like I was known like growing up as the bitch, but I feel like
Or
once
the talker.
more yeah. But I feel like but once I got through like into college, I think people just knew that she just demanded a lot from everyone. It wasn't, and so it kind of changed from being a bitch to she just demands a lot from her teammates, her friends, just in life. Like you just demand a lot from a lot of people. So if you trust them, you're gonna expect them to give you their best at all times. So.
But I think the biggest thing is being able to differentiate that, like in the environment that you're in. So separating on the court and off the court. Like if we took how we were on the court, like how Danielle's personality on the court and how aggressive we are on the court, and took the animosity we had there and brought it off the court, we wouldn't be best friends with half of the best friends. Like almost all of our best friends are from Elon Volleyball. So I think it's being able to differentiate that, showing that, look, I'm going to get on you on the court, but off the court, like I still care about you. I'm going to be there for you as a friend. So I think it's making sure you separate those two. That's just like in a work-life balance. Like remember your coworkers or your coworkers, but they can be your friends off the like outside the office. To make sure you separate those two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just kind of like, I'm gonna jump you. You know it. You don't even have to tell them. You do it a couple times. Then when you get off the court, you go to the locker room or you're leaving the facility or whatever. You sort of, well, hey, how's your day going?
Exactly. Yeah, people struggle with that a lot because we, even with our team at Portland State,
I think
they
it's
struggle.
Just, just look. Although you jumped her ass, walk next to her after you leave the facility. How's your day?
Yeah.
And you'll leave her thinking like, you were just ugly to me. And if she's thinking that, or if she even says that, say, look, that's our job.
Exactly.
It's kind of like when we lose, everyone loses. And what I mean by that is you got all the fans that come in. You lose, they're sad. You're sad. Your teammates are sad, and your coaches are sad. And all around, that's a big loss for everybody. So it's just not about you.
Yeah.
That's our job. We are representing this university. We need to act like professionals. Jump you on the court. Look, that's fine. That's our job. That's what we do. We're athletes. We're not average people.
Yeah. And
so once we leave, then you can be the friend. So it's just because I jump you on the court don't mean I don't like you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm doing to you what I want you to do to me.
Yeah.
And so if I push you, I want you to push me because I'm not 100% every day.
Yeah.
Just like sometimes I'll be in here training and these kids will try to get me to jump with them or do something like that. And sometimes they'll push my buttons to where they do get me to come out and compete with them. Or like the other day, they said, Jared, I'm going to beat you on these squats. Because like I said, we measure our squat speed. So we're not worried about weight. We're worried about getting a certain number on the tendon.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think you want to do this today. I said, I'm just going to stay right here. And they beat me by 0.1. So next time I beat them. And so we just kind of, that competitive nature allowed us to get better there. I may pay the price later.
Can't move the next day.
Yeah, so like if you see me over here, I'm twisting right here, this knee right here is a little stiff. But it's still in me at my age, I still go in there and try to hang out with them. But I told them, like, when last year was coming down training from Georgia Tech, I had to jump with him. And so I beat him on these freaking jumps. I jumped him to 33, to 34, to 35, to 36. Then he beat me to 37, then he got to 38. My highest went to 37, then I started getting broke, more beat down. But I said, why the freak? Because I would beat him, and then he'd get better that day. I said, why the freak do I have to beat you for you to get better? I can't do this forever. And so I was able to get my respect from my basketball guys at Penn State. So it's getting rough. I don't know how long I can go. This competition stuff's pretty rough because I don't like to lose.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to keep myself sharp enough to where even if I do fall down the train a little bit, I'm able to still compete with them a little naturally. But it's rough. My body. I need some grease in my joints.
Me too.
So that's good. I'm glad we really covered that female bitch category.
Yeah. No, it's huge. It really is.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, guys don't understand. I'm like, you're not a female, so you don't see what we're seeing or hear it or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I say women are crazy and guys are retarded.
Yeah.
Guys are too retarded to know that women are crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true.
But I think that's very good. I hope that helps people. We talk about the recruiting process as far as personality trait. Get out there. Don't be scared to work.
Yeah.
And like you said, y'all's time in high school. Look, y'all are 26. I still, 26 thing. But your time in high school is like that.
Yeah. It is, and it goes by even faster in college.
Yeah, and you don't realize you sitting there. You get to college, y'all never at the bottom of the totem pole though.
Yeah.
Y'all came in at the top.
Yeah.
Some of these girls are coming in at the bottom. They were top of their team in high school. Then they had to work their way back up.
Yeah.
And I experienced that from the first time because in middle school I was on top, high school I was on top. I got to college and I was like, I forgot what it felt like to be at the bottom. And so I just had to kind of work and earn my self-respect. But a lot of my respect for my teammates, my coaches came from my weight room. When I was in college, like, why are you so strong? I always had work to be better. Some people in there never lifted weights and could bench almost. Like I had some receivers in Memphis that hardly ever worked out, could bench 300 pounds. I'm like, you're the person I'm trying to freaking catch.
Yeah.
Because you never know who's out there. Because y'all seen some freak athletes that you expected, especially probably being at Baylor and y'all were both at Southern Miss. Those are no joke schools. I don't like Southern Miss, but what conference are they in? The AA?
No, they're still in Conference USA.
Why did they not get moved out?
They thought it was
we tried, but just
money.
There's a lot of
those
stuff.
fans in freaking Southern Miss were the only games where we had cops had to stand behind us.
I'm a Southern Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that surprised me.
And when your back's to that wall is almost as close as this wall.
Yeah.
You don't have any room on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And so some of the fans will start throwing.
Yeah, because you're like right there. Like
the fans will throw.
Yeah, you can reach down and grab
still,
like the players.
Still the
exact same setup. Yeah.
Yeah, and so so then our defensive lineman started throwing back in the stands at them.
Gosh.
And so then from that point on, every time we went to Southern Miss, we had police officers lining up behind them. And we played TCU and we got in a brawl there, so we never went back to TCU.
But Memphis is wild though. Y'all have some wild people too.
Yeah, Memphis was really good for me because that was the first time I'd ever been away from home too.
Wow. Memphis. Wow.
Yeah.
And so I went to Grind City.
Yeah.
You go through Memphis and you look on your Snapchat filters, you get some crap. Grind City. Kyle pulled up and said, "The Hood."
It's rough there.
It is the hood.
So that's what 3-6. That's why we had some 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
I like to meet those guys. So if you know any 3-6 Mafia people, tell them to stop by and see me because I think they're hilarious. They may not like that hilarious word, but whatever. So anyway, anything else?
No. Thank you for having us.
Do you want to give out your social media? Does anybody follow you? Can you even do that at Baylor and stuff?
No, yeah, I can. My Instagram is _Nels, Nellez, and my Twitter is Nels _Nellez_, and it's Chanelle Smith.
My Instagram is Danielle Smith with 2 H's and a 5, and I can't remember my Twitter name.
It's like Coach Danny.
Coach Danielle or Coach Danny or something like that. But you can also look me up on Portland State's roster. So
you can look me up on Baylor football.
What okay, well shoot, I thought it was gonna be done, but for coaching, do y'all have control of your Twitter accounts, or like when you're transferring these universities, do they give you different Twitter accounts?
No, but we just have to change it to like our logo. Like you just have to change all your information to.
So your Twitter name pretty much will follow you.
Yeah, that's why they want you to keep it generic. So that's why I just changed mine to Coach Danielle.
Yeah.
So it can go like whatever school I'm at. So.
Okay. That way, in case, because in college athletics, you're going to bounce around whether you want to or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And so a lot of people have a hard time keeping, especially a lot of strength coaches. A lot of them get fired real quick.
Very quickly, yeah.
And
especially this past few months have been crazy.
Yeah, it's been a lot of coaching changes.
College coaches.
Yeah, and it changes quick.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thank y'all for watching. Thanks for listening. You can always contact me at info@explosive mechanics. Follow me on Instagram @explosive mechanics or Twitter @explosive MEC. I'd like to thank Danielle and Chanelle for coming on.
Yeah.
So it was fun
Thanks for
catching
having
up.
us.
I ain't seen them in a while. Great girls. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.
Thank you.